Hello dears, welcome to Beauty by Heart. I'm Delaying as nice Lulu. Today I'll be sharing with you dears the Colourpop eyeshadow palettes that caught my eyes, but I'm glad I didn't buy. Yeah! Colourpop is very well known to push out new products very aggressively, and just this year they have already released tons of eyeshadow palettes out there that I actually lost count. And for a very long while I didn't have any feeling for them because I find that their new eyeshadow palettes are either too bland or they are duping themselves. But for these eyeshadow palettes I'm mentioning over here in the video, excite me. When I saw their release photo, my eyes brightens up. However, for some reason, I actually haven't bought them yet, and I'll be sharing with you the reasons why in a while. Anyways, if you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. If you happen to like this video, please consider to subscribe. And for all of you dears who are watching my video right now, thank you so much for watching. It's my blessing to have you here. By the end of the video, please share with me in the comment section, do you have any makeup products released this year that caught your eyes but you didn't get? The best comment will be featured in my upcoming videos. Thank you so much, and now let's get started! Let me just shift over here so that I can show you the palette photo over here. And also I'll be looking at the palette photo on my handphone that I don't think you dears can see. So let me start off with this first palette, which is the Malibu Barbie palette. This is a 15 pans eyeshadow palette. It's a collaboration between Colourpop and Barbie. And this is retailing at 25 USD. But right now when I'm filming this, I'm not so sure whether you dears can see because on the viewfinder this handphone screen seems so dark. And this palette is having promotion now. It's retailing at 1750 USD, but the original price is 25 USD. I'm not so sure when this video is published, is the promotion still valid. The color story of this palette is quite interesting. It has some orange, gold, hot pinks, turquoise. It looks so sunny and bright and vibrant. When I first saw the release photo of this palette, it does caught my eyes, but just a little. The pinks caught my eyes, and the pink's packaging makes the whole color story seems more pink. Later on, when my YouTube friend Charles was asking of my opinion about this palette, I got even more interested. Especially when this palette is having some discount under the Colourpop website. At the same time, I don't remember playing with Barbie when I was a little girl. So this palette has no nostalgic value to me. And furthermore, the reason why I didn't buy this is that I find that the overall color story is very similar to this ABH Amrezy palette. It has the turquoise and the hot pinks over here and the neutrals and gold over here. Not exactly the same color story, but the vibe is there. And as you dears probably can see, I seldom even use this palette. So I don't see that I will be using the Colourpop Malibu Barbie palette if I got it. This is the second palette, which is the So Very Lovely palette. It is a 12 pans eyeshadow palette retailing at 18 USD. And this palette melts my heart when I see the release photo. The color story for this palette is soft, feminine, romantic with the mauve colors, peach colors, soft champagne colors, and the inclusion of rich berry colors and terracotta colors. And the whole story seems very wearable and practical for everyday use. And the next photo of this palette, I can see that their packaging is very pretty. It has very intricate details and printings, and this packaging reminds me of their existing Menage a Moi or Boudoir Noir. The kind of very intricate details over here, just like this. So pretty, isn't it? And this palette, So Very Lovely, has pretty colors and also very pretty packaging. I was talking to Nadine from Unpretty Vanity channel, and she bought this palette during the discount. And we both love the color story. The only reason that stops me from buying is that I find that this color story is very repetitive. I'm very sure if I were to separate all 12 colors in this palette, I can find similar colors within my Colourpop existing collection, be it whether it's the single eyeshadow form or the eyeshadow palettes form. And that is why I just feel that Colourpop just rearranged their existing color, name them differently, give them a new packaging, And ta-da! We have a new eyeshadow palette! And the irony thing is, I keep falling for them, even though I know where they are coming from. This is the third palette, which is the Cabana Club palette. For the remaining palettes that I'm talking about, will be all 12 pans retailing at the same price, which is 18 USD each. Same as the Malibu Barbie palette, when I first saw the release photo of this Cabana Club palette photo, it caught my eyes a little. Yes, just a little. This Cabana Club palette consists mainly of bright colors with gold and neutrals. The packaging has beautiful tropical flowers design. I was attracted by some of the bright colors like the metallic turquoise and the matte yellow over here. But I just find that the color story of this Cabana Club palette is very similar to the So Very Lovely palette that I just talked about it. But this Cabana Club palette has brighter and richer color stories compared to the So Very Lovely palette. At the same time, I also find that this Cabana Club color story has very similar color story vibe to the Malibu Barbie because both have the same beach theme and both are bright and sunny. If you were to compare the two palettes together, the Malibu Barbie has more pinks and the Cabana Club palette is slightly more toned down than the Malibu Barbie palette. So overall for this Cabana Club palette it does stir my interest, but seriously it's not enough for me to want it. This is the fourth palette, Lush Life. This palette is breathtaking. It has been a very long while that Colourpop palette made my heart skip a beat. I just stopped whatever I was doing when I saw this release photo. This is an amazingly beautiful palette with rich and saturated colors. The packaging also goes in line with the eyeshadow colors. The greens and the blues attracted me a lot, and we have the option to go natural with this palette. The overall color vibe for this palette is so rich and vibrant and it excites a lot of people. However, this Lush Life palette came at the wrong time for me because recently I'm very into a plain, natural eye makeup look which consists mainly of the colors, the natural colors, the rosy nude colors, and the mauve colors. So this is too vibrant and saturated for my likings right now. So sometimes timing is everything. This is the last palette, which is the Off Melrose palette, and this palette was released early this year. So again, this color story is my cup of tea that consists mainly of the rosy colors, the neutral colors, the mauve colors, which is tilted towards more to the cool side. And in this palette, there are two pressed glitters which is not safe for the immediate eye area used. So when I first saw this photo, I quickly pulled out all my existing Colourpop eyeshadow colors and started to dupe this. Late last year to early this year, I keep making the DIY dupe the palette videos. This is a series where I use all my existing colors to dupe a particular new release palette that I'm really interested and see if we already own the color stories. I dupe a lot of Colourpop palettes within Colourpop colors themselves till I was so meh over these palettes and I got bored duping the Colourpop eyeshadow palettes with their colors. They just produce tons of eyeshadow palettes. I've already duped this palette within my existing Colourpop eyeshadow colors and I posted it in Instagram. And before I duped this Off Melrose palette, I only saw the palette photos and I didn't see any hand swatch photos. So looking back, there are some differences between my dupe version and the original version. And because this is a dupe version, I don't really like the pressed glitters formulas. I've replaced the two pressed glitters formula in the original palette to my existing metallics eyeshadows from Colourpop. And so even when I'm interested in these Off Melrose color stories, I'm able to dupe it, and since I'm able to dupe it, I totally lost interest in buying them. Besides the reasons that I mentioned just now, the fact that Colourpop has increased their free international shipping purchase amount and their constant release burns me out and stopped me from buying from them. On the other hand, this is also great for me because I can save some bucks. So dears, now it's your turn to share with me. Do you have any makeup products released this year that you are interested but you didn't buy? Please share with me in the comment section below. The best comment will be featured in my upcoming videos. Thank you so much. And last but not least, here's an inner beauty tip for us to be more beautiful and more wise. The tongue has no bones, but it is strong enough to break a heart. So be careful with your words. Hope you dears enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. If you happen to like this video, please consider to subscribe and click the bell notification button below for my future videos. I love to do beauty products review, and if this is your cup of tea, please join in my YouTube family. If you dears like to connect with me more, please visit me at my Facebook and Instagram platform. The address will be somewhere here. May you dears have a peaceful, blissful and joyful week ahead. See you next time. Bye! And before you go, please check out these two videos over here. Thank you!